What is good, everybody? It is Council of Comics. It is 5 p.m., August 25th, 2024. That means it is time for film and box office news. We will be back in 30 seconds. Hey, we're doing Spider-Man 2 today.
Black is like the brightest day. Where are the heroes? Soon as they get here, everything will be alright. I need a hero. Someone superhuman who can come and save my life. Crisis after crisis.
Ooh, what's up, guys?
What's going on?
What's happening?
Good afternoon or evening, depending on where you at.
Film and box office news. Sam is still away, so I'm kind of running all the operations here, but I'm here with Steve Bizzle, Green Shirt Guy, and Cliff, and the rest of the council. How's everybody doing?
I'm good. I hope Sam brings you back a keychain.
I went to Puerto Rico and all I got was this crappy T-shirt.
Oh, man.
Remember
What are
those?
you drinking, Cliff? What was that? Oh, just a coconut. The glass was like, yeah, the glass makes it look better.
Fancy.
I'm doing pretty well, actually.
I'm exhausted. I'm always tired. I don't remember what not tired feels like.
Like the announcements, real quick. All right, Young at Heart Foundation. It's like Sam's charity organization. They do hope packages for kids waiting for life-saving heart transplants. You can help them out by making a donation, sponsoring a hope kit right here, or become a donor at Donate at Life America. Announcement: our YouTube channel, Council of Comics. We are up to 924 subscribers right now. I think we were nominated for a couple things. I'll wait for all of us to be together. Do you remember what they were?
What were?
What were we just nominated on a couple things?
Oh, I was hoping we would have the video, but I can't get it fast enough.
Okay.
So we were nominated for Best Collaborative under 1,000 and
right.
Best Ongoing Series under 1,000.
All right. We'll definitely have more information for that as that gets closer. It just happened. That's like the big news. Second for YouTube. My mic is in the way. Cliff on Comics. Tell us about your channel. How's it going?
Cliff on Comics, home of Comics and Coffee with Cliff in the morning, Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. This week's guest was Old Wolf. We had a fantastic time talking about Terrificon and all the other wonderful things, plus his 5 very unique, very robust comics. Actually, I'm not going to spoil it. He chose a really interesting theme, but there were some great covers. So go check that out. Next week's guest is going to be Rob's Fat Stacks from Rob's Fat Stacks Comics, Rob's Fat Stacks Comics, and of course, we will be talking comics during cancer.
Very, very good. Couching and Slouching with Steve Bizzle.
So just yesterday I was at 450, so now I'm 449. So please come back, whoever dropped off. I'm dropping a video, 3 videos this week. I've already shot them. They're ready to go. They will be up there. It's all of them gonna be unboxings. One of them is gonna be my new comic book day. I finally got my books out for the last 2 weeks, so you're gonna see what's in my pull list. I'm also dropping every Monday my what I call my 3 hype books in my pull list. That's gonna be dropping tomorrow as well. I'm also shooting a video for my 400 subscriber giveaway, And then soon I'm gonna be shooting my 500. Once I reach 500 subscribers, I already have all the prizes all ready for it. I just can't show you the 500 one until I actually reach that goal. I want to thank everybody that's been liking and commenting and subscribing, not just to my channel, but to Cliff's channel and to the Council of Comics. So thank you so much.
All right. Welcome, Papa Wheelie. And final announcement we got is Alternaverse Comics, our home away from home, located at 870 Violet Avenue, Hyde Park, New York. This is where the council pretty much gets their comic books. Get in contact with Anthony at 845-233-4234. He'll set you up with a pull list. I think he mails them out nationwide. 10% off. Do a pull list. So Alternaverse Comics, and they do card tournaments on the weekend. I was there playing Lorcana on Saturday. I think they had Pokemon going today. I think they had D&D on Saturday too. Oh yeah,
Did you win?
Alternaverse Comics. I won a couple games.
Nice.
So I did win a couple games with my hyper aggro deck there for Lorcana.
Nice.
And those are our announcements out of the way. Stop that and close the things out. So you guys watch anything this week? I finished watching Presumed Innocent.
Yo, what'd you think of the end?
You know what? They changed it up a little bit, and I was glad they changed it. And it was just like a little, like it even had me going, like, all right, they kept the ending, and they did switch it up a little bit for those who knew like the ending from like the Harrison Ford movie and stuff.
Okay.
So, but I enjoyed it.
I just the part, and without giving too much away, the part that bothered me was them looking at each other across while they're preparing Thanksgiving dinner or whatever. You remember how he's in the kitchen and she's at the dinner, setting up the dinner table, and they just have a look and they look at each other. I'm like, really? That's how you're gonna end this?
I thought that was because they just went right back to being like the family.
Right. I was like, how messed up is this?
So yeah, so I did finish watching Presumed Innocent, and I started watching the second season of Invasion.
Okay.
Which is a really pretty good show.
Invasion.
It's an Apple TV show.
Oh,
It's really much like the aliens invade, but it's told from like different continents and parts of the world and stuff. So like the one girl's like in Japan, like the one kids are in like England and stuff. The one family's like in the United States on Long Island. Very, very good show. Check out.
I gotta check it out.
Yeah, I haven't been watching anything lately. I've just been trying to organize my comic book collection.
I've been trying to get organized, but I did catch up on Kite Man.
Okay.
Look. If you enjoy watching Harley Quinn, you'll enjoy watching Kite Man. That's all.
I'm behind like one or two. I watched the first season of Harley Quinn back in 2020. I think that one came out. That was definitely a pandemic show. I made it through, and I gotta watch the other seasons.
I am shocked that Kite Man actually got a show. I did like him in the comics, but I was surprised he got an actual show.
Well, did you enjoy him on the cartoon? Because he was great.
He's funny in the Harley Quinn show.
Yeah.
Okay. I never watched that show. I just realized.
Not for children.
You know what I just realized? So I live here. It was me, my fiance, her mother, and her grandmother. I just realized my mother-in-law had in the living room TV Amazon Prime.
Oh.
So now I know I could go catch up on a lot of stuff like The Boys, Invincible.
All these shows that we've been talking about that you've been missing out on?
Heck yeah.
So what do you got? Just I think Amazon Prime is free, but like if you have Amazon Prime, right?
Yeah, she has
I honestly like the family has the Amazon Prime, so if there's something I needed ordered quickly, I'll get it to them. So, and
that's what I try to use it for as well.
Yeah, if you order off Amazon at all, it's well worth it just because you don't pay shipping.
Yeah.
Go with the entire window. There's
Something
like some
happened?
film. Oh no, I'm talking to myself because I'm.
Oh,
Don't worry.
I'm talking to myself because I'm like about to
Oh,
share. So
oh
there is
no.
like some good box office. Well, like film news is the trailer dropped for the new Lord of the Rings cartoon. Warren Romero.
I'm mixed.
You mixed? I
I'm
think
mixed.
I think it looks really good.
It
So
looks like it's going to be anime, which is not what I want.
it does look a little bit anime-ish.
Oh,
it
look at that.
does. You don't like the anime-ish way it looks?
No.
Uh, I mean, that looks kind of cool. Like I could see myself getting into this.
Didn't the Hobbit cartoon look kind of animated too?
No, it had its own. It had its own artistic style to be
Yeah.
certain, but it wasn't
Yeah.
like this. This looks like if it was not Lord of the Rings based and you put Japanese over it, I wouldn't notice the difference.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it does have like well, I don't know, like the
I mean, obviously, there's certain
elephants
things like
look very Lord of the Rings.
right. That's what I'm saying. There's a few things that make it stand out, but
I wonder if it's because it looks like to me the animation looks similar to the Netflix animation of Castlevania. That's what it looks kind of like to me.
I don't know. I thought it looked. I could be down for it. I think it looks pretty good.
Is it what streaming is coming on?
I think it's
That's
coming
good.
to the theater.
that's a theater one. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is going to the theater.
I think
so-
originally it was supposed to go to Prime, right? But then now, yeah, it's definitely going to theaters.
Oh,
Gotcha.
good. We need something theatrical.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like I'm pretty happy because like I said I've always wanted to step it up and get something into the theater animated like this and
Mhm.
so Christmas time this is coming out. Like I said I think it looks pretty it looks good to me.
Yeah.
I'll be going to see it.
Yeah, I have more positive feelings on it than I do negative.
Okay.
I'm in for it. I'm going to watch it because I'm a Lord of the Rings guy. But I just went.
How much of a Lord of the Rings guy are you?
Raving about it, and I watched the trailer. Like, okay, it looks fun, but it doesn't like. I wasn't like amped.
How much of a Lord of the Rings guy are you?
I've read the books many, many times. I'm the guy that will argue with people when they tell me that Gollum was a hobbit, and he's not. Says so in the book. He's river folk.
What about the bad news I guess of the week? The Acolyte is dead and not returning for season 2.
Interesting.
I kind of I had mixed feelings on this. First of all, it was I feel like because there's things I talked about Invasion on Apple TV. Invasion cost $200 million to make, and it got renewed for season 3. Star
Right.
Trek Discovery was 8 to 10 million per episode, and they were able to pull it out for 5 seasons. Foundation, 45 million a season, and that just got renewed for season 3. So it's not a good look. And I feel like Disney knew it was going to be controversial before they dropped episode 1. They knew it was going to be a little bit they knew there was going to be buzz around it. So
Yeah.
the Get Woke Go Broke crew is all yeah, we won, and the other side is so I kind of am wondering where is Disney at for it to crash and burn like this?
Yeah, they need to go back to the table and just focus on quality. This quantity needs to stop, and they need to focus on quality.
That's what they said earlier this year.
Yeah,
they said we're focusing on quality.
I feel like this came out of the quantity era, and we need the quality era to return.
Yep.
I could yeah, and it was what, I would have watched season 2 of The Acolyte. I didn't think it wasn't dead in me in the water to where I wasn't gonna watch season 2. And I think it ratings wise, I think it still probably had better ratings than all the Star Trek Discoveries and Invasion and Foundation just because it was Star Wars,
yeah,
and Disney Plus as opposed to Paramount or TV. Yeah, I think you're like the quality from, and I guess like Lucasfilm lately, because like Willow got canceled. Indiana Jones, let's face it, was a little bit.
Willow getting canceled was kind of the shocker.
I mean, but
Especially-
I don't think it was any like better or worse than like the Acolyte. So
I haven't watched Willow since
It
the
started.
80s
You
version.
can't now. They took it off. You can't even watch
Yeah.
it anymore. It's gone.
So
I
wait, they
think-
not only they canceled it, they just removed it from the streaming.
It was the whole season played. It was on what at least 6 months ago. But yeah, now that
Okay.
you can't even watch it, it's gone. They took it. It's not available.
Oh, I could find a way.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, yeah, it's out there.
You can
Like,
dark web it all you want. I'm saying you cannot watch it on Disney Plus.
Okay,
if
yeah.
you want
Okay,
to
yeah, I
watch
got
it, like,
you. Yeah.
yeah, they actually like removed it and wrote that off as for like the tax write off that it is.
Like Batgirl, which I'm still pissed about because I actually wanted to see
You know
it.
what? And I kind of like all right, like that kind of makes me wonder like the quality of Batgirl, really like the
Yeah.
quality of Batgirl, especially like like is Warner doing better about like their quantity over
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, is I'm a completionist when it comes to comic books and movies and stuff. I want to see how it is to develop because I'll give you a perfect example. The comic book Wolverine during the X of Swords, I was literally about to drop it. I'm glad I didn't because when it got to the Sabretooth War, it was probably one of the best Wolverine stories I've ever read. And that's what I'm saying. Like maybe the Acolyte, the next season could have been better. We don't know. We'll never know now.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think Willow had a chance to be better in the second season too.
Yeah.
It started off
Yeah.
It started off real bad, and then it got better as it went.
I saw the complaints about Willow. That's why I never really jumped at the chance to watch it. Normally, I don't follow other people's reviews on movies or television, but I had so much stuff going on. I was like, well, since everybody not like it, I'm not at a rush to go see it.
Right.
So now I got to go to the dark web.
Yeah, and like it's something about, and maybe it's because like are we like part of the problem? Like is all this stuff aimed? Let's face it, Willow was aimed for us. Like,
Who was?
Yeah.
like Star Wars stuff. I think they're still trying to aim for like us a bit, and
Well, Willow was aimed for us, but they didn't completely give us what we wanted either.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
So I think you know what I mean?
I never
And I think they
understood
knew-
that.
I think what they knew that like also with the Acolyte, I think they knew they both were rather incredibly like everything we said about it. Somebody professional said before it got released.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't understand about that is the fact that a lot of these professionals, when they come out with these movies and televisions programs, the source material is right there.
Thank
And
you.
every single fan will tell you, like, hey, just follow the source material. That's why so many people was pissed off with that Fantastic Four movie. It went so far away. I can understand if you don't go word for word like Sin City did.
Right.
But when you go way over to the left field, and when you hear writers and showrunners say, oh yeah, they told us not to read the books. Like, well, why not? That's what the fans want.
Right. Then why? What are you making a story based on that?
Exactly.
Yeah, I think.
I'm bringing out my inner Cliff.
Yeah.
Cliff was the biggest
Can I
like
say-
naysayer on the Acolyte in the council. I think Clifford was the biggest.
I
vocal
listen.
say.
I still am. I'm sorry. It's
It's a subpar.
it's a product of
not
its
that
problems. No, look, it's very subpar. If we're gonna compare it like toe to toe to Discovery, Discovery. I mean, like there's like an investment in season 1 in the first 2 episodes to get some backstory done, and then it starts to take off. I mean, like Acolyte debuted with like very low numbers, 50% lower than let's see. It debuted with 50% lower than Ahsoka, 75% lower than
Yeah,
Mandalorian.
but Discovery's how many shows in?
Yeah.
Streaming.
No,
wise.
I'm
not talking.
I'm noting. I'm looking at season 1 numbers. You
No,
know,
what I'm saying. No, what I'm saying though is Discovery is how many streaming shows in to that Star Trek universe, whereas at the Acolyte's probably what, the 7th or 8th Star Wars show.
I think Discovery was like the
listen,
first
we
one.
can disagree, but I stand by the fact it should have been a better quality product.
It could have been better, but my point is it's not as bad as everyone panned it for the reviews that it got. It could have been better, but it wasn't the worst one ever. So I don't know why it got shredded the way it did.
Do you think Disney's expectation was like higher than it?
I don't think Disney cares.
I don't know what Disney thinks ever. I mean, I'm completely lost.
Because I kind of wondered that too. Like, was their expectation for this like super high, even though they know they're releasing like, this is.
I honestly don't think they care. I think they're like, oh, it's a Star Wars show. It'll make us some money. Put it out.
Yeah. I think everybody in the council agrees with that. It's like we don't really know what Disney has been thinking over the last 10 years. So to each his own, I guess.
Well, I think they wanted a season 2. Like, I think they wanted this to do better. Like, I could say
Fire
that
Kathleen
one.
Kennedy. Just fire Kathleen Kennedy already.
Larry Jackson said, "LOL, it's that bad."
No, it's not. Not that bad.
Opinions will vary.
Opinions will vary.
Yes.
Like, I think Cliff's our biggest naysayer. I think Josh was probably like the biggest of the defenders for the show. So I kind of think.
But maybe my disappointment is so great because I really wanted to be able to defend it and love it. You know, I don't know. It had.
I wanted to like it more. I'll be honest about that. I think I did want to like it a lot more. And when the final product hit, I was just like.
So, I think what it's failed from was it wasn't super consistent. When it was good, and there were good moments. Don't say that there weren't. The fight scenes are probably the best in any Star Wars show yet. When it was good, it was good. But when it was bad, it was like, well, that was kind of a weird choice. So, like, it didn't, like, you'd go from this was really good to a moment where you're like, well, I would have left that out. So it just kind of bounced around.
Yeah. Right after they met her sister, we get the origin. And then, like, it's like 10, 15 minutes of her saying, goodbye, this isn't my problem. Like, that was like, that episode pissed me off. I was like, I don't know what you guys are watching. I was like, homegirl, and everyone's like, okay, be on your way. No, hell no, girl. This is your twin sister. You're going nowhere. I think that was the moment where I had to like throw the show out the window because I wasn't even mad at the origin story. I was like, oh, this thing with the sisters and like, oh, the Force, okay, we're playing with canon real hard here, but like, let's see. And then the next episode, well, that's it, I'm done. No, you're not done. Oh my God. So yeah, I'm sorry. I really want to do the show, and there's nothing I want more than to say that all the lunatics online, hating it for its wokeism, like, be like, suck it. It really is good. But no.
Yeah.
It was it just was.
It just was.
You weren't just saying it was bad because of the wokeness. It was just like,
what are we saying that was woke in it?
Just because a woman of color, female lead, lesbian witches.
Here's the thing. Are they lesbian witches though?
I got the idea that was a lesbian witch cult. I don't know what show you watched.
It was very clear that two of them were.
I got the idea that it was a lesbian witch cult. I don't know about you, green shirt guy. Like,
they didn't all have to be lesbians.
All the problems I had
the
with
leadership.
That was not it. Like I said, I'm not trying to defend it because in the pantheon, I would put it in the middle. I don't think it's the worst. I don't think it's the best. I would put it in the middle. That of the issues I had with the show, that was not one of them.
Yeah, but yet that was something that people attacked, and I was just like, no, this is stupid to attack this. It's just like, It's just like the look of disappointment I get on my face when people tell me that She-Hulk failed them when she twerked with Megan Thee Stallion. I was like, that did it.
Stupid. Yeah,
That's
that
not
was
why I
stupid.
did. That
That
show
was your
sucked, and
final
that's not why I
straw.
didn't like it.
You know, I was like, that should not be your final straw. Papa Wheelie, no
So-
one put on the subject. Sorry, Papa.
That
So, would it be bad? I don't want to lose our friendship if I tell y'all this, but the last Star Wars anything I watched, was it Rogue One?
okay.
Okay.
That was the last Star Wars I've ever watched.
Good.
Not
You
because
ended
that
on
one
a, you
was
ended on a
fire.
relatively high
That was
note.
the last like that was like top tier Star Wars.
Okay.
I like it. I know people. There's people didn't. I
That's
like
one of the
Solo,
best
too.
Disney projects they did.
I thought Solo was good. I didn't have a problem with Solo.
Okay.
I think
Rogue One's
Solo.
great. Andor, great.
Yeah, Andor's great.
And a bunch of mediocre Star Wars. And one of the things, like, you know what, I kind of like, you could kind of like see how these, like, and even a little bit Discovery is how much can it stand on its own 2 feet without
Yeah.
anything before. And I thought, like, like I was like, wow, Mandalorian's really doing that. And then season 2 of Mandalorian comes and we get CGI Luke. And so much for that idea of standing on your own 2 feet. Like,
Honestly, that's more of what Acolyte should have done, and it just kind of didn't.
yeah, it kind of should have went to try to stay, and then it kind of didn't. And we had to get Yoda in at the end, and Darth Plagueis in at the end, and like try to stand on your own 2 feet. And you know what? Discovery is a little bit guilty of it because it's the whole first season standing on your own 2 feet. Second season, Spock stuff.
and Mirror Universe, and we got the Dark Universe. But you know what? I'm okay. I didn't care that they didn't stand on their own 2 feet. I loved it. I love everything they've done over there. Except I'm wishy-washy about season 1 of Picard.
And even in Picard season 1, I did enjoy, and Picard season 2, and I gotta watch season 3 still. So
Season 3 is the best.
okay, season 3 is the best.
Season 3 is a next generation freaking superstar reunion. I love
You know what? Season 2 was Q, and my only complaint about like the Q stuff was it's kind of a lesson because Q usually would teach you a lesson for Star Trek.
Yeah.
Like that was his thing. Like, yeah, he's the bad guy, but you're gonna like learn from like my encounter, and the lesson he's given is one he kind of gave to Picard already. And so that was like a little bit disappointing, but like the Brett Spiner twist at the end of season 2 was that type of twist that like, yeah, that's what I watched Star Trek for. Like that hit out of the park home run.
No, I agree. That's it. And I liked all, and don't get me wrong, I liked it, but there were things I didn't love.
Yeah, and you know what? Picard got 3 seasons. Look at that.
That's right.
Well, probably because what's his name? Patrick Stewart's like, I'm only doing this if you give me the money.
Yeah, but like the Acolyte, like there again, like Star Trek is smashing you right now. Like, it's one of the points is, but we do have, and I can present it up, the box office.
Woohoo!
Something came out this week too that I was like, ooh, I should go see that, but I obviously didn't.
The Crow?
No, it was definitely not that. Definitely no.
Deadpool and Wolverine are back as number 1 this week.
Yep.
Mm.
And another 18 million.
What's the
We'll
total
just
now?
see. Like worldwide, it's 1.2 billion.
Ooh.
Does it get to 1.5?
Listen, I think 1.2 is already
I think
phenomenal.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just
1.2
wondering.
is where
love
we
that.
just said like the L is already been given for the Acolyte. They get the W for Deadpool Wolverine.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, what do you
I'm not
where do you think
sure.
it's going to get though? And it's it's going to cap at?
Oh,
137. 1.37.
I'm going to be daring and say 1.5.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's got a couple good weeks. Like I don't think there's much left for the summer to even like mess with it. So
There
like
really
last
isn't.
minute. So the last minute like
And to be
stuff.
honest, I can't
Yeah.
remember, other than this movie, obviously, I can't remember the last time somebody told me I'm going to the movies to see it a fourth time, and yet with this movie, I've heard that.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, I agree.
Alien Romulus number 2.
I do want to see that. I've
16.
heard good things too.
I've heard like a lot of good things, nothing like bad. So, and it's done, worldwide, it has done 225 million.
Not bad. In 2 weeks. that's
Good
not bad.
opening. Good opening.
Yeah. It had a good opening. It was number 1 movie last week. It's number 2 this week. It had 30 extra theaters. It Ends With Us was number 3.
Right.
Blake Lively. That went into 100 extra theaters. Worldwide, that's doing 240.
That's not bad.
Yeah, probably cost what, 100 million to make? Maybe.
I mean, it's a romantic comedy, right, or whatever.
Yeah.
How much do those cost to make?
A rom-com.
You're paying for locations more than anything else.
Exactly.
Blink Twice was number 4.
No thanks.
What this is.
I'll wait. I'll watch this, but I'll see it on when it's streaming.
Who's that in
Because that's Channing Tatum, right?
Is it?
I think it is.
Oh, okay. I was trying to see who that guy was in the picture there.
And the Forge, brand new.
Oh. So that looks whatever. Can we just point out that which looks meh, whatever, still made more money than The Crow?
Oh, The Crow made
Oh,
4 million.
Oh, it is getting torn apart.
Like
Damn,
Twisters has been out for like a while, made more money than The Crow this week.
Right.
Right.
Like
Wow.
Coraline's second
Coraline
week for
made
the
more money
15th
this week.
anniversary made more than The Crow.
Right.
Wow.
Every single review for The Crow is, why would they do this? Why would they tarnish the legacy of the last movie? Why did they pick this particular storyline? Why didn't they choose something else? Why? Like everything was why.
I had a lot
That's
of
all
those
I
why
heard, too.
questions because like The Crow, like the first one with Brandon Lee, it was like his last movie, and it's actually like a comic book movie that like stands the test of time.
It's
too.
dark though. But yeah.
It's a dark movie, but the something the source material is dark. Let's face that.
True.
And it owes a lot. Its look does owe a lot to Tim Burton's Batman. Like somebody studied how to make their movie look a little Tim Burton.
Right.
But
I agree.
it definitely stands the test of time. And like I even wondered, like, why do we need like a new Crow? Like the first one was pretty fire still. And
If
then
you're
you
not
saw,
gonna make it on par or better, why even come out with one?
and then you saw like the trailer and what he looked like, and you were just like, oh,
I
that's
didn't even
not
see
good.
the trailer. I just saw the stills and went, I'm out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not good. So like Coraline, which is something like a tried and true animation, makes more than The Crow. That is not what.
Despicable Me, which has been out since the beginning of the summer, just barely got beat.
Yeah. Like next week, Despicable Me could like take The Crow.
And if you're a family that wants to go, who hasn't already seen that at this point?
Yeah, so I was watching Bleeker's The Church, and I agree with everybody what they were saying that why do you use these two characters when you could have just used because The Crow has other people that were The Crow, and you could have used those characters instead of the ones that from the last movie. You know what I mean?
Exactly, but no, they chose to mess with what was already there.
I'm kind of surprised it made that much money.
Despicable Me number 9, Inside Out number 10.
Yeah,
Still
going strong.
1.6 worldwide. I think it just went to digital.
No, well, you can get it. You can rent it,
Okay.
but it's not available. Like it won't be on Disney Plus for about another month, I think.
Okay.
I haven't even seen the first one yet.
What?
You know what? I
you have-
watched it a couple months ago, and it
And
was
you
because
have a
of all the
child?
news on this one.
My son rather watch live drag racing than cartoons.
Oh, I would too. RuPaul is fabulous.
Not that drag race.
So I don't know. I think. Do you think Deadpool is going to take Inside Out? I don't think so.
I don't think it
No.
will. I don't think it's going to get
No.
I don't think it's going to be that high. Then we got
there. Because Deadpool's not the kind of movie you take your family to.
Especially
Or-
kids.
And yet I saw it.
What's that?
And yet I saw that happen.
Well, okay, with rare exception. Whereas is Inside Out, most people take their families. So that's
Oh yeah,
that's
that's
3 or
the
4
whole-
tickets
That's
right
the whole
there.
family.
Yeah.
Borderlands. Another Lionsgate.
Borderlands
just
still up
came.
there?
It's number 13.
Oh wow.
Long Legs.
Carol and the Purple Crayon got smoked. Holy smokes!
Harold and the Purple Crane. And they didn't even go down to 30 this week. They just get
Oh,
like-
wow.
Yeah, talk about doing badly.
Harold
Purple Crayon took the biggest beating.
and the Purple Crane.
I mean, they yanked it out of over 1,000. Oh wow, that's it. That's not even wow.
But you know what the funny thing is? I don't think the Crow is going to hit those numbers.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, Borderlands 2, man. Like, Borderlands is
I wonder sometimes too,
24 million.
if some of these production companies will still release a movie even if they know it's bad, so that they can write it off on their taxes, because they're trying to make their bottom line this when they're already like it's. So they're like, oh, we can write this off, so we'll be good. Let's just put it
Yeah.
out anyway.
I
I can see that.
I could see that. The accolade.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry.
Wow, it's gonna be like that.
Yeah.
Huh?
Whoops. I didn't mean to say that.
I see how it is, Phil. I see how it is.
Yeah, that is why I think why Willow isn't on the service, though, as I think they tax wrote it off.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't
that.
think the movie's not even still on there, right?
Oh, I'm not sure.
You know,
That'd be crazy.
I'll
I'm
look.
okay. I got the DVD of Willow. So I'm good.
Daddy-O made 3,000, number 26 at the box office.
Mm.
All right, guys. Your homework was Spider-Man. Whoops.
The movie is still on Disney Plus, by the way.
Wait,
Spider-Man 2 was the homework this week. And you know what? We do a trivia question every stop. We do a trivia question. We'll win yourself a duck. And I pulled up a very, very hard question for Spider-Man 2.
Here we go.
So, here we go. Alfred Molina plays Dr. Otto Octavius in Spider-Man 2, also known as which Spider-Man villain?
Come
Is
on,
it
man.
A, Doctor Who, B, hashtag Dr. Oz, 3, hashtag Dr. Octopus, or 4, hashtag Dr. Phil?
put
know
D,
which one I
Dr.
wanted.
Phil.
I will get that in the banner.
Well, you see here, Phil.
Oh, Sam is never going to let me do the trivia again.
That's okay. We want people to win.
Yeah.
We do.
Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil.
Put that there.
It's so Dr. Phil.
So Spider-Man 2. I thought, like, you know what? I had watched once again the DVD copy. It still has the stickers kind of stuck. This probably came from Media Player, someplace like
Nice.
a long, long time ago, and I couldn't get that movie stuff off. So, what were your thoughts?
So Kirsten
I,
Dunst,
enjoyed
right
it.
out the gate, I think is a decent actress. I don't believe her as a model though. So it's when she's up on that billboard selling the whatever it was. I'm like, no, you're not good. You're a good looking woman. Don't get me wrong. You're not good enough looking to be a model. I don't believe that. Right out. It was like first 2 minutes in the movie. I'm like, oh, all right.
I remember watching this movie for the first time in IMAX, sitting with two gentlemen who said the same thing, and I rolled my eyes at them because Kirsten Dunst's skin on that 75-foot screen was flawless. And then I spent the rest of the movie pointing out every single facial tissue scar of every actor in the movie and every piece of melanoma on Aunt May's skin because
that's
her
fine.
skin was looking beautiful.
That's fine. None of the other people are supposed to be models.
That's okay. Her skin was flawless in that movie.
Her
If
skin
that
can be
does not
flawless,
give you model
she's not
points,
good enough looking to be a model.
wow,
She's just
wow.
not. That's
So
the
let
thing,
me,
she's not-
you know what?
it's
Toy
not
Games
that
asked the
she's
right
just,
question.
unattractive. She's just not
First.
model attractive.
Well, what were the things you liked about this movie?
I like
The woman
everything.
playing Aunt May is great again.
I,
She is Aunt May.
He's
I
phenomenal.
thought, you know what, I liked a lot about it. First of all, like Spider-Man still looks good swinging through New York
Yes.
City.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's pretty much like a lot of the stuff we liked about the first one, we're gonna like about this one. One of the things Toy Games pointed out last week is the hero is doing like hero stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he he goes into that fire again and saves the kid. And I thought this was a good continuation of the story.
I would say this. This is just for me. This is my own opinion. This is one of the best superhero movies of all time, to me. Anytime anybody asks me if they want to watch a superhero movie, which one they will watch, I point to this one first, because it is so amazing. No pun intended. Even spectacular.
You
Still
say
no
it's
pun intended.
spectacular.
But no, I really enjoyed this movie a ton. I love Dr. Octavius in this. I feel the actor played him very well. One of the best casting of villains of all superhero movies.
Yeah.
So
Agreed.
Thank you,
I
Frida.
think he should have been heavier though.
Huh? Yes.
I think-
Should be
I think he should have been-
slightly. Yeah. I would
I
say
think he
this.
looked good, but I think he would have been more believable, comic book accurate if he was heavier.
I would say this. Kristen Dunst, I agree with both of y'all. Her skin was flawless.
Thank you.
But when
Beautiful.
I look at her in this movie, I mostly see her as the girl next door.
Right.
Who was it? Not Anne Hathaway. It'll come to me later. But her skin was flawless. It was just smooth. Like, she was just gorgeous. At that time, when this movie came out, models looked different than what she looked like. That's all I'm saying.
I agree with that.
Still do.
But I feel like flawless skin has major points. And I think I was resentful because the two gentlemen who I went with who were going on about her looks were no fucking prize. And I think that's why I really took it to heart.
The thing that took me slightly out of it in this movie, and not enough that I didn't still enjoy it, is that Tobey Maguire, while being an actor, is kind of a dweeb in this movie. Now, Peter Parker's kind of a dweeb, but like he's almost too dweeby in this movie with some of the stuff. I'm like, it made it hard for me to root for him in a couple of scenes. I'm like, he's the hero, but I mean, come on.
Well, he's having the crisis of conscience in this movie, which is a totally storyline Spider-Man thing.
No, I
know?
get that. He came off too nerdy.
No, young Peter has been nerdy and dweeby, and especially conscious of crisis Peter. I felt like that was all there. I felt like this was like straight from the comic, just done
It's
the
fair.
Sam
It's
Raimi way.
fair. It's just the way I felt. No, that's fair. And like I said, it wasn't so bad that it took me out of it. But just a couple times, like, yeah, come on, dude, like, grow up.
I thought
I'm glad that Papa agrees with me, though. Amazing Kirsten Dunst is a perfect Mary Jane. Thank you.
I thought the Sam Raimi way was like where they were gonna like operate on
Yes.
Octopus.
Yeah.
And like his things go off on everybody in that room.
That was
Love that
fully,
scene.
like that was Sam Raimi horror in this.
Yeah, that was very Sam Raimi horror.
Yeah,
The other thing that was I found funny because it was just I'm knowing it's a Sam Raimi movie is how many times did we have a woman either in scream foreground or they would pan over to her just start screaming. Ah! Way too many times in this movie did we see that.
You know what? most of the time, I'm gonna let you slide this time. Even though you're talking about my favorite movie, you could do your plot problems, but I'll let you slide.
I have a couple.
Oh Lord, I'm ready to solve those plot problems.
Okay.
Let me see. One thing I like is like Dr. Octopus looked the part, like amazingly,
He
even
did.
more than Green Goblin is. He looks like Doc Octopus from the comics.
Mhm.
There's no question.
Not at all.
Well, you know, it's interesting because here we had a villain with a more revealed face, right? And in the first movie, you know, Spidey and the Green Goblin are masked most of the film. Here we had a more revealed villain, and by extension, we had a more revealed Spidey, a more vulnerable Spidey. You know, especially with the train sequence, which like the train sequence is like the gold standard. You know,
I mean, I'll get to that later, or unless you want to
I
now.
know you don't like. I know you don't like the fake L train, but it's not about the fake L
Not
train.
the fact that it's fake. I'm fine with that. I know there's not one in New York City. That's not my issue with that.
Isn't it in the like? Doesn't the 4 train go through like the Bronx like that?
I mean, we do have an L train. It just does not look like that. I mean, and it does go above.
And there's the 7 in
like
the 7 in Queens too. Yeah, it doesn't quite look like that, but
we have something like that exists. This interpretation is wildly off.
Correct.
Okay,
and that's not my issue with that scene. I'm fine with that. It's a plot device. I get that.
I think it's a beautiful plot device. And like the first movie where everyone starts throwing garbage on the bridge, I felt Spider-Man rescuing this train and everyone looking at him and going, oh my God, he's just a kid. And they put the mask right back on him. You know, I felt that was like it was a beautiful, yet another beautiful response to how the city responds to Spider-Man. Right? Yeah. And I'm all for it. I mean, like I even get the warm. I know it's not perfect looking, but I get the warm tingles just thinking about it. Maybe I'm sensitive because I read Spider-Woman this week. I don't know.
No, you're right. I agree with that. I agree with the sentiments.
There's something to that. I do think though that for a guy who through the entire first movie and a little bit in this movie keeps talking about how he's got to protect those around him and he takes his mask off like every other scene in public, not like in the house, not in the backyard. Like he's in public, he's in alleyways. He's just taking his mask off every 5 seconds so we can remember that's Tobey Maguire. I guess I don't know.
Well, I feel like that's just more of a film thing than anything else, and yeah, that I can give you. But I felt the only time it truly mattered in this movie was the train scene.
I thought that was a problem I had with it. He's fighting Doc Ock, which I'll get to my other problem in a minute if you want. But he's got his mask off the whole time, and we won't tell anybody. You're telling me out of those 60 people that saw it, nobody's going to say something?
Listen, back then, I believe it. In 2024, the phones are rolling, the cameras are snapping, Instagram's exploding.
That was nobody had like that. You know what? There was a scene where Tobey Maguire has like the payphone. And I was like, that so dates this movie because he's at the payphone.
Yeah.
And that was the part where he like it just goes to he's like, the truth is I'm Spider-Man. Like, he has that like he's going through that Batman moment where Batman's at like Vicky Vale's. He's like, and he doesn't want to come out with it.
I don't know. How about when he goes to see the doctor to find out what's going wrong, why he can't shoot his webs or whatever, and obviously his sight goes back and forth. But he's talking to the doctor, and the doctor says, and I quote, "You seem very okay to me." Could that be a clunkier line from a doctor?
When I
go see my cardiologist in 2 months, I hope he says to me, "Your heart seems very okay to me."
Yeah, but you can't look at it in your 2024 type of mindset.
I mean, come on.
I'm just saying. When did the movie came out? 2004? Yeah, this 20 years ago. You know,
so
it's the pre-COVID era.
So 20 years ago, they were allowed to write crappy dialogue?
Yes. especially for
I love
especially
you,
for
so
super,
I'm not gonna press it too much, but fine.
for especially for superhero movies.
So we see Doc Ock, right?
Yeah.
And he gets the arms attached to him, and then we don't see him for a while. And the next time we see him, he's breaking into the bank, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's got the trench coat and all this other stuff on. And even my two younger sons, who are 12 and 7, went, "How does he put all those clothes on?"
The arms, baby. Those arms are doing everything. Those arms are just making it happen.
Yeah, but they can sew holes in clothes now for him to put them on.
Listen, we saw them do all sorts of shit. They can sew holes in clothes.
I'm actually looking at photos of Doc Ock from the movie. There's actually holes, and there's a huge hole in his back, so his arms can go through.
No,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
if you look at it, there's like 4 holes on the trench coat
Yeah.
when he's breaking in, which is like, all right, I guess, but
Yeah.
So my problem with the train scene is not the fight, it was a cool fight, right? But the lead up to that is the car going through the restaurant and him saving Mary Jane, blah blah blah, and Doc Ock is supposed to go get Peter because Peter will know where Spider-Man is. Okay, I'm with that. I follow that. It makes sense, right? However, a couple things. He tells him, meet me at 3:00 or whatever at this place on the pier where he's doing his experiments, right? We all know that's where he's sending him. Peter decides it's more important to risk the lives of all of New York as he fights him across the train on this train, which he didn't need to do. He could have just met him at this thing and fought him there. The only reason they're fighting is because he changes into his suit and starts chasing him through the city.
Well, unlike Superman, who could knock down a building with a punch, engaging Zod in a gas station in the very town that he lives in, and I'll rip Man of Steel apart on another day. Peter doesn't have that power level, so
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He made a choice. He can make a choice to where he's fighting him. He didn't have to fight him there. He could have fought him somewhere else.
Didn't Doc Ock come for him?
No. He came to him and said, "You got to get me Spider-Man and bring him to blah blah blah." At
right. Okay.
And then he took Mary Jane as collateral.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, like, dude, Doc Ock comes and takes your girl. You're really gonna sit there and be like, "Oh, I'll meet you in half an hour"? You're not.
The other thing is, so he's through the whole movie, we see him saving the baby out of the fiery, and he's doing all these little
better baby rescue than the Flash. Let's everyone remember
all these street level hero things, right? But then he's fighting him on that clock tower, catches the thing, and Doc Ock snaps it in half and throws it at him. Makes no attempt to catch those, and that killed people on the sidewalk.
I mean, maybe. I mean, people know how to move out of the way. They got Stanley on the street saving them. I'm being funny, but it's true. Stanley's in these movies like.
I did see that.
He was like so quick in the movie. He's just out down there, and like the building is coming down.
That was like, oh no, innocent people rubble here. Let this old man move you.
I did like the fact that they teased Dr. Connors even more in this one, and he's missing the arm and the whole thing. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. So, which makes me wonder whether he was supposed to be in the third one and got cut out.
He was. Raimi was pressured into doing Venom, and was not crazy about it.
Because that would have been. I mean, we eventually get Lizard, but I'm like, oh, here we go. I'm like, oh, right, he's not. I know it's in the third one. It's not him.
That was something I was thinking of when I watched this movie. Is I've said Batman has like the best villains in comics. After like this movie, I think Spider-Man might have like.
I think Spidey and Batman equally have a very interesting and well-known rogues gallery.
Yeah,
I agree.
Green Goblin, the Joker, Black Cat. And
I would say that they're both of them have a pretty wide rogues gallery and are so well written that because they work off of that particular hero's strengths or weaknesses. Batman fighting Spider-Man's rogues gallery wouldn't be interesting because it doesn't really work that way, and vice versa.
Batman fighting Spider-Man's rogue gallery wouldn't be too wild or off the cuff.
Well, my point is that but Batman would other than maybe Lizard, would just lock people up pretty quickly because they're not without downplaying them too much, aren't necessarily thinking man's villains. Some of them are, but
Batman versus Green
usually
Goblin would be serious.
Whereas Spider-Man's are very action oriented.
Oh,
yeah.
Freaky is also reminding us that he told Peter he will peel
Yes,
the flesh from
he
MJ's
did.
bones.
Oh yeah.
If Spider-Man didn't show up.
Can I? Still, that's a worthy threat.
I have the Rose Galleries as this. I do have Batman #1. I have Spider-Man as a close second. The most underrated Rose Gallery is The Flash. I just want to put that out.
Okay.
Yeah, Flash has got some of the greats. Captain Cold, Captain Boomerang,
Heat Wave,
the Top,
Mirror
Heat
Master.
Wave. Yep.
Weather Wizard. I could go on and on.
Yep.
Okay. So Tritium, right?
Tritium.
I'm okay
Which
with
is a
him.
gas in real life, everybody.
I'm okay with that. Even if they completely made it up, because we also know the vibranium and I'm blanking on Wolverines right now. We know that and we know they're made up. I'm okay with that. So even if Tritium was completely made up, I'm fine with it. However, couple inconsistencies with it. In the first experiment, they talk about it's one of the most rare metals on the planet. There's only 25 pounds of it. Why you would use that as because we don't know how much it weighs. 25 pounds could be an entire room. 25 pounds could be this. That doesn't mean anything to me. You should have said there's only like so many bars of it or whatever, but that's fine. But then later, Doc Ock needs it more because he's doing that experiment again. There's 25 pounds of this on the entire planet, but Harry just happens to have some in a wall safe in his house.
He's rich.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. In a regular wall safe, no, because we know that this is a radioactive material, that it's not in some crazy safe in a lab somewhere. Come on.
That's how rich
that safe could be more sophisticated than it looks.
It's not. You know it's not. Don't give me that. When you open
it
up with just a little
and
the door's made of wood, don't even try.
I will give the suspension of disbelief because his father was a lunatic to begin with. All right. And by the way, Harry is spiraling into lunacy in this movie. Let's not put it past it.
And like at the end, he's becoming like the next Green Goblin.
So you're telling me that there's 25 pounds of this on the planet. We know that it's radioactive, and that's why he's using. And there's no regulation on this whatsoever. That you can just go get some whenever you need it.
He's that rich, and the wood you're talking about is radioactive.
So if I have millions and millions of dollars, I can just go down to my local whatever and buy plutonium right now. Come on.
You're telling me that we don't live in a world where wealth and privilege exists, where people can do crazy shit, and we'll find out about it later? You're
not going to convince me you can just go get some radioactive material because you have a bunch of money. You're not going to
listen. This fictional tritium is basically a Oscorp discovery, so I'm not wildly surprised. You know, like if it wasn't like an Oscorp specific thing, then I would be more surprised. But it's the fact that Oscorp is all behind us. He's so excited. Peter, I can't wait for you to be there. This is such a big thing. Rah! You know, like, so yeah, it's more believable because his company is behind it. His company is the catalyst. So
I don't buy it. But
I know you don't have to buy it, but we are tit for tatting a wonderful comic book movie right here.
I also thought it was odd that the whole discussion about him using it and this, that, and the other, and not giving him more is that he can destroy the city, right? When he screwed up the first time, we got a little. So we're gonna get a bigger.
Yeah, that would take out the city, basically.
And so then when he's got his experiment going the second time, right? It's yanking taxi cabs from blocks away.
Do you know what's hilarious?
Water, right?
Do you know what's hilarious?
The metal building doesn't collapse into it.
Everything you're naming that is a problem with you for this movie is a problem with me for Man of Steel, and I'm loving this right now. Okay. I am loving it.
And even that, all these things I can probably let go, except But the one that really bothered me at the end of the very end of the movie is Harry standing in the house and hearing his father's voice, right? I buy Harry's going through a crisis of whatever, right? But then when you present it the way they presented it, it's no longer the serum or whatever that his father took that made him go nuts. It's a genetic defect in that family, so he would go nuts anyway. It has nothing to do with the serum. That's not why he turned into the Green
Well,
Goblin.
you know what? Basically, it probably is happening anyway because he had a radioactive ball sitting in a
but you said that
safe.
you said that safe was fine.
No, I know.
Well,
I said
I
the
said-
safe would be fine, but now that we're revisiting it, I'm like, that could have been messing with him the whole movie.
I'm just saying, like it was so contradictory from the first movie. I'm like, really? You just basically said everything in the first movie didn't matter with that. But I did enjoy the Hal Sparks sighting.
Yeah,
Hal Sparks made me laugh.
I know Hal Sparks in both movies is very funny.
Was he in the first one? I don't remember him in the first one.
He's in the elevator, is he not?
In this one, he's in the elevator.
Oh, that's
When,
right. He's in the elevator in this one. That's
Bruce,
right.
Bruce Campbell is the usher in this one.
Right.
That's right. Bruce Campbell's the usher this time.
Yep.
And it's so weird. It's so weird that Hal Sparks is there. And I remember an interview I was watching him on way back in the day because he's like, yeah, I'm in the middle of filming Queer as Folk. And then I get this call. It's like, hey, we need a filler for Spider-Man. He's like, all right, let's go.
Right. And then I'm going, oh, man, I haven't thought about him in at least 15 years. I'm like, oh, this is so an early 2000s movie because he's in it.
But it's so funny because when I watched this the second time with Anthony in the movie theater, because he wasn't one of the two scumbags I went with the first time, Anthony was like, who is that guy? And I was like, that's the comic book nerd from Queer as Folk. And he thought it was neat that if anybody was going to turn up from Queer as Folk on Showtime, it should be the guy who portrays a comic book nerd. I thought that was fun.
I mean, there's a lot of small cameos in this movie.
Can you?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but Phil, can you put up Papa's last comment?
Oh, this one?
Yeah, I didn't see it. The only thing
That's Superman's thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can see that.
I don't know. Like it seemed like he was ready. Like that's like a superhero thing. Like
I don't know. They don't all do it, Phil. Come on. They don't all do it.
I know. Like the Hulk rips his off.
Well, he has no choice.
The Hulk. You're right. The Hulk bulges out. Like
Right.
Yeah.
But overall, and maybe that's the magic of this movie, that despite its flaws, it is so good. You maintain your investment. The heart is there. You have your connections. The flaws aren't pulling you from the movie. You know what I mean? Like I never feel pulled from the movie where I'm like, yes, I know. Obviously, it's a problem for you. Oh my God.
Not enough that I didn't still enjoy it, but there's a couple of them like, I don't know about that.
So let's get some numbers for this movie.
I don't remember from the comics. Correct me, and maybe it's because whatever. Jameson's son was an astronaut? No, right?
Yes, he becomes a man wolf.
Okay. And he's the one that brought back the stuff that ends up on Peter, right?
Yes, technically.
Yes. So they kind of did it out of order. Okay.
Yeah. Well, no, because in Spider-Man the Animated Series, when Jameson's son is crashing into Earth and Peter rescues him, that's when the Venom symbiote gets on him.
Right. Yeah. What I'm saying, but in this one, we'll find out next week. But in the third one, he doesn't. I don't think he goes back up. I'm trying to remember.
No, it's just very loosely implied that space mission may have brought about.
Oh, okay.
The symbiote.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's get some numbers on this. So are you, Cliff?
Oh, I mean, I have always loved this film. So, and it continues to warm my heart. 8.5.
8.5. Green shirt guy.
So I did enjoy it. I do have issues with it. I don't think it's the greatest Spider-Man movie. I like some of the newer ones even more. I know, C. Bizzle, I hope this doesn't ruin what we have because I haven't been enjoying us getting to know each other. I will
It
give it
never
a,
will
se-
ruin it.
a 7.8. I can't get it to an 8, but I did really enjoy it. So 7.8.
Okay. And what about Pop? You got a number? What about you, C Bizzle?
Okay. So once again, I feel that, like I said before, this is one of the greatest superhero movies of all time. While we sitting here talking, I was busy drawing. So I had got a little Doc Ock going right here, a little Spider-Man going right there. So
All
I'm having
right.
some fun over here. So I would give this, and it might sound crazy, I don't care. Give it a 9.2.
Ooh, wow.
Woo!
That is a very high number.
That is. Freaky Louie gave it a very biased 10, but if you don't know already, the man very much loves his Spider-Man.
Yes.
Papa Wheelie, 9.
Right?
Mhm.
9 for 10. Or what do you say? Wait, 9 out of 10. Kirsten Dunst's boobs a 10 for 10?
Yeah. All
I'll
right.
give you that. I'll give you. I 100% give you that.
You know what? I think this is one of those, like, you know what? Because as we said, we liked Spider-Man 1 probably a little bit less than when we first saw it at the theater. This one, I'd say I'd liked as much as Spider-Man 1. So this is
Mhm.
definitely a solid 8 for me, like 8 right off the bat. So, which is about what, like Spider-Man. Like, this is one of those sequels that is very on par with the original one for me.
Yeah.
So it's not like any better or any like worse. It might have aged a little bit better than Spider-Man has. The
Mhm.
CGI is just a couple years ahead, but there's even parts on that big train fight. Yeah, the CGI is there and it's going full tilt.
Yeah.
But yeah, still solid 8 for me. It was a fantastic, enjoyable film.
Next week we won't have those numbers.
No,
No.
next
No.
week it's gonna get real ugly.
Do we
real
say our average is over 5 next week?
Oh man.
Oh man,
Woo.
gonna be next week. Spider-Man 3.
Ooh. I got things to say about that.
It had so much potential, and then it didn't.
Well, you know what's wild? Well, we'll get into it next week. But
Yeah.
after going 2 movies where the casting's pretty spot on,
Yes.
and that
Yes.
third one,
Yes. I agree.
All right, so our trivia question for the movie: Alfred Molina plays Dr. Otto Octavius in Spider-Man 2, also known as which Spider-Man villain? The answer is hashtag Dr. Octopus. And I'll give you like 15 seconds to put it in the chat if you have not already done it.
15.
Yeah. Yeah.
that whole scene where they're deciding what to call him was pretty funny.
I thought like the scene where like she's at the
Doctor Strange.
table and
It's already taken.
she's at the
3.
table and she's like, Peter, do you love me? And he comes back, I don't. I was like, oh, you made yourself so much more attractive now.
Yeah.
Roll it.
Roll it. All right.
Yeah.
It is time. Let us roll it. Pick a winner. Who will be our winner? Oh, couching and slouching with C Bizzle.
So, see, Bizzle, that means you get to choose who you give the duck to.
You get to choose.
Absolutely. The person I'm gonna give the duck to is one of the biggest fans of Spider-Man. It's gonna be Freaky Louie.
Yay!
E. Louie.
Yes.
Look at that, Louie. You got yourself a duck.
Got himself a duck.
Congratulations. And where is
Chop is funny.
Mhm.
Oh, who's singing?
Oh, that was me. I put the music on. All right, everybody. That's our Film and Box Office News podcast. I can stop with that and go to this. And we'll give a quick shout out to everybody who came in. soon as I get to the top, starting with Lucretius 1971. Thanks for stopping by. John's Comics for Kids. Thanks for stopping by. Meatwad number 1. What is that? Omnibo? Omnibo.
Yeah, Ramon.
All right, Ramon. Thanks for stopping by. Christina Fain. Thank you for stopping by. Geek Out with Roscoe stopped by for us. Assassin with C. Bizzle and Cliff Rock Comics. Kenneth Bird stopped by tonight. Thank you for stopping by, Kenneth Bird. Who else? Colton Oakley stopped by tonight. Thanks for stopping by. Fuzzy Dunlop stopped by. Thank you for stopping by. Trip the Shipping Girl stopped by to say hi. Joffrey Comics stopped by. Alternative Comics stopped by. Anybody else? Canadian Survivalist stopped by. Larry Jackson stopped by. Black Crown Comics stopped by. Eddie from the Back Hive, thanks for stopping by, tuning in tonight. Anybody else? Scrolling down. Going. Stop and Drop, thank you for stopping by. Keeping going. And Freaky Louie won himself a duck courtesy of C. Bizzle. Keep going. Joseph Michaels, the Adventurous Joe, stopped by. Thanks for stopping by. Anybody else? I think that was everybody. So thank you all for stopping by. Tune in tomorrow night. We'll be doing the new keys in Hot Comics of the week. And you know what? We're going to be doing the duck drawing on Sunday for New Comic Book Day live. And where is it? Woo. For New Comic Book Day live, we'll be doing the new comic. And next Sunday, we will be doing this spectacular Spider-Man 3.
Well, strong.
Spectacular might be a little bit strong. Spider-Man, though. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, everybody. We will catch you tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. Peace. We love you all.
Good night.